then, listeners? It's,
Good morning.
Yeah, we're back with Dinosaurs in the Congo once again on a lovely... Episode 4, yeah. The Yeti. It's a lovely sunny morning, wouldn't you agree?
I would agree.
And first-time listeners, remember, this is the show where we pitch mysteries, monsters, and just lunacy to two of campus's most sceptical boys. My co-host here,
Max,
and Jacob.
Yeah, and my name's Dan, as usual. Producer Jesse is sitting with us as normal.
Hello, over in the corner. Hello, I'm still here.
I think Jesse's on the gullibility scale quite close to Dan, I reckon, when it comes to these monsters.
When it comes to believing in fairy tales.
You went with the Loch Ness Monster last week, so I've preempted you a little bit there, but...
It's nice and balanced now. 2 skeptics and 2 believers, I guess.
Believers. That's what we call ourselves.
The faithful.
It sounds like we're in a cult. But, yeah.
That is a worrying thought.
I know you like nice little scientific evidence for these creatures, yet there has been very little to none.
Yeah.
Well, I might have a bit of a something called DNA for you later on in this one.
You're going to DNA me? You know what I'm like when it comes to DNA? That's one thing.
You do love it. So, yeah.
It's infallible.
Exactly. So I've got some, it's questionable DNA, but we'll get onto that later. So, yeah, the Yeti.
Straight in there.
Right, let's dive into this mother. It's the Yeti. Right, as normal, our reputable source of Wikipedia, getting in there with, apparently it's folklore from the Nepal region, also known as the abominable snowman, which we'll get onto a bit later. It's it's taller than the average human, ape-like creature, lives in the Himalayas and Siberian regions of East Asia. So yeah, we'll get into that. So I assume you guys are aware of the Yeti?
Yeah.
You know it?
So, my earliest exposure to the Yeti was in the comic books Tintin.
Tintin?
Which you may have heard of or read.
I have heard of Tintin. Monster Inc. You know.
Oh yeah,
Is he?
He was a Yeti or?
Which is Yeti? Yeah, but he is a Yeti. Yeah. So yeah, he's in.
So we've got quite childish introductions to this
creature.
Also, have you heard of the film, I think it's called Missing Link?
That is featuring a Yeti, yeah?
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it in the cinema the other day, and it's basically, that is it, it's a Bigfoot, no, it's a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
That, he's played by Zach Galifianakis, whatever he's called.
Zach Galifianakis.
He gets discovered by an explorer, played by Hugh Jackman.
Nice.
It's all animated, of course.
That's live action, I hope.
and then he finds him. And the whole thing is Sasquatch wants to find his missing sort of relatives, the missing link, which is the Yetis. So he goes across the world to discover the Yetis. I thought you'd love it. And the cast was really good. Good line.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, to be fair. What else? I was also thinking of the film The Smallfoot, which seems to have Yetis in, which features Channing Tatum.
Yeah, I remember seeing the posters for that. It did not appeal to me in the slightest.
No, none of a scientific basis of the Yeti in there for me, but sure.
But you like your evidence.
Yeah, I do like my evidence. So yeah, the history of the Yeti was basically, according to H. Ziegler, the Yeti was part of a pre-Buddhist belief from several Himalayan people, and he was told that the Lepcha people worshipped a glacier being as a god of the hunt, which people now believe to be the Yeti.
Okay.
A lot of other tribes kind of refer to it as the wild man, and it has certain mystical ceremonies around it. He's always been depicted as this ape-like creature who carries a stone weapon and makes a whistling swoosh sound. Apparently, should you laughing? You laughing at that, Jacob?
I just want to hear it. Can you explain?
I imagine looking like woo. That'd be kind of noise it makes.
In what context?
I think that's the noise it makes. It says it's been depicted as this ape-like creature that carries a stone weapon and makes a whistling swoosh sound.
Do it again for me.
The whistling swoosh sound is more of a sort of...
Yeah.
More like that. More like wind as opposed to you.
Better.
This is good. This is good. Ooh.
An agile gibbon, perhaps.
Oh, it would be an agile gibbon. Catching Jacob unaware. Woo! This is good content, surely.
Okay, I guess the sound's kind of irrelevant anyway, because if you're in a windy place, you're probably going to be hearing wind anyway, aren't you?
Yeah.
Plus, it's not real.
Poor Jacob, you want to tell this go to Nepal and tell these people that?
See, Jacob's more cynical than me. At least I give it a chance.
Yeah. So, Jacob, you want to tell this to the people whose cattle have been slaughtered by this creature?
Probably won't have been a Yeti.
All right.
Go on, Jacob, what's
So
your explanation? Go on, without any evidence, Jacob, what's your explanation?
Dan's a Nepalese
Farmer.
yak farmer.
Yeah.
And you're trying to tell him
That
the thing that's just eating his
Jacob, you got the mic.
yak
Go on.
is
We'll do a little role play.
is not the Yeti. He's so sure it is.
Well, I'm not sure what other animals live.
Mister,
in the poles.
I'm telling you, the Yeti ate my cows, ate my yaks.
Did you see it?
No, but I heard the whistling swoosh sound, and I heard a lot I didn't want to go out. He's got a weapon. He could kill me.
Maybe it was just a really hairy man.
Oh, really? There's no one around for hundreds of miles. Apart from you, who've appeared out of nowhere.
Hi, yeah, I'm from the local council. I was looking into these reports. What the wounds like? What kind of?
I'll get back to that. I'll try and find it. Yeah,
I think this is funny.
I do think this is funny. My castle. I can laugh at my own castle being killed.
Yak.
Yaks. I call them cattle.
He knows them personally.
Yeah. Like, they've just been torn apart.
Are they just been torn apart?
Just been torn apart.
It was a bear, mate.
Could be a bear, but what bear, Jacob? Come on, Mr. Man from the council. What? Well, yes. What bear is my Yeti?
I'm the man from the council.
Who's this guy then?
He's just some like tourist who's come over and he's just trying to like.
He's
take
hassling me.
Yeah.
All right. Get back on the.
I don't know what bears live in Nepal, but I guess
To clarify for Jacob on his bear point, it could be a Himalayan brown bear. Just Googled it.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Page. There.
I was going to get to that. I didn't want to give Jacob all the facts right away, but yeah, it could have been a Himalayan brown bear. But we'll get to that later when it comes to possible explanations. Jacob, jumping the gun. And Jesse.
Anyway, continue down your.
All right, cool. Down my rabbit hole.
Mm.
Insanity. So yeah, that was kind of pre-19th century. In the 19th century, a guy named James Princenet, Journal of Asiatic Society of Bengal, published Trekker reports by a Mr. B.H. Hodgson and his account of experience in northern Nepal, where his guide spotted a tall bipedal creature covering long dark hair, which seemed to flee in fear. Hodgson concluded it was an orangutan.
I don't think Hodgkin's that good at sort of animals, is he?
No.
Was it orange
Wait, no, he said brown dark hair.
in the Himalayas?
In the Himalayas.
Orangutan.
Neither of those things add up.
No.
If it was a Yeti, pretty cool. If it was an orangutan, even more spectacular. Like, what's an orangutan doing over there?
Mount Everest, obviously.
Yeah.
Setting records for the orangutan community.
I suppose we shouldn't knock it, should we? I mean, it's
Yeah.
more than I can see.
Yeah. I've never been to the Himalayas. There could be some orangutans knocking about.
I mean, possibly standing in Max's territory. I mean, we could say that it's more likely that there are orangutans in Nepal than there are Yetis.
Yes.
They strike me as
If you
more.
were to be a skeptic.
I'm being more sceptical, yeah, looking at that. But I'm thinking
More likely.
the environment that an orangutan. Like, we know what orangutans are like. We know the habitat they live in.
It's not-
Do any of them?
it's not
Do
Nepal.
none of them scream at the summit of Everest?
Equally, no. Could be an adventurous orangutan.
Either-
It's gone, I wonder what's up there. Are there bananas up there? And just gone, well, there's no bananas. I could just hang around here terrifying people. It's more likely that there are orangutans on Everest than there are Yetis, which is the stance I'm thinking Max is going to take from that.
I'm going to say the
don't-
opposite. I think it'd be more likely that there would be this undiscovered creature rather than a discovered creature we know lives in tropical rainforests.
You know what? The way things are going, more likely there's a orangutan in the Himalayas than there are in Borneo rainforests.
Oh god,
That's been the mood down there.
that's
now.
good. Yeah, that's hit me where it hurts. But yeah, the earliest reported record of footprints appeared in 1899 by Lawrence Waddell.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
you sure these names are real?
I don't know how to pronounce that. Waddell. Lawrence Waddell. Sorry, Lawrence. Lawrence, Lawrence, long dead. But if your relatives are listening, I apologise. And he reported his guy's description of a large ape-like creature that left prints. Waddell thought it may have been a bear, but he heard stories of this bipedal ape-like creature, but wrote in his notebook, "None, however, the Tibetans I have interrogated on the subject could give me any authentic cases." So yeah,
That's fair.
that's pretty well done. But reports kept more frequent reports as more people started going to Nepal. The increase in frequency of reports started to go up when Westerners began to make attempts to scale the mountains, seeing odd tracks and odd creatures and strange noises in the area.
Also fair.
Yeah. A guy named in 1937 called Frank S. Smythe took a photograph of alleged Yeti footprints. I'm going to show you that now. kind of like some.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like leading off into the distance. So pretty cool.
Oh, Jacob.
Sorry, we let Jacob do a bit of the tech there, and he messed it up as usual.
Sorry.
I've been showing some photographs. We've
Yeah.
been showing some photographs that Dan's concocted. Most of it's just footprints, which, as Jacob rightly pointed out, it could
be anything. Yeah. I think we need
Goat.
to. Maybe not a goat. I think
Human.
could be a human, big human, but I think for what we need to do is, I think to discuss this more is look at the animals that already live in this region.
Okay.
Jesse, if you mind getting up, Himalayan. He's not the Himalayan brown bear, but other animals that could live there. We've got the brown bear.
I reckon there's a few
There's snow leopards.
rabbits,
Snow leopards.
snow leopards.
Rabbits would make. I feel looking at how the footprints are, it'd be more of a. I don't know, kind of hop, but also as it goes, it'd be just disrupting more of the snow rather than just these clear footprints. So I think don't think it's a rabbit. I think bear could be one, or snow leopard. I think looking at some of
You're
these.
saying that the Yeti is quite light-footed,
Yeah, maybe.
like not scuffing. Oh,
It's
that's
a
cute.
wolf. That's cute. That's lovely.
What wolf is it?
The Himalayan tar.
Oh, the Himalayan tar. Yeah.
Himalayan tar.
Basically, a wolf species. Once again, it produces all mammalian footprints.
Mm.
One of the common theories I've seen when looking into this sort of stuff, especially when revolving around like Yetis and Bigfoots, is how bears walk. Is they'll put one foot in front of the other, and as they keep going, the rear feet will land in the same footprint, but not in the same place, making it look bigger and disrupting the toes.
Mm.
So there's that. But we'll look. The picture we've got here, the most famous one of which kind of got the attention of this thing around the world, was from 1951 by a guy named Michael Ward and photographed by Eric Shifton. And it's this big. It looks, I'd say, quite ape-like foot. And there was basically
Yes.
a trail of these leading off into the mountains, and he put his ice pick next to it for scale. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
all. So I think that's an interesting one.
What's this guy's credibility?
He was literally just climbing Everest with his mate, and his guide came out and said, "Look what we found."
Mm.
Like he said, like we've got to be careful. These things are out there, sort of thing.
No one's ever been taken yet, have they?
Well, would there be any evidence if they had?
Do the indigenous people of the Himalayas say that they've had people taken?
It doesn't say. I'm not sure it says on Wikipedia, but I can find some. Sure,
Or just concoct some?
I can make some stories up. I'll have a quick look.
Just go onto the Himalayan Telegraph or something.
Yeti. I'll just go on Yeti News,
Yeti News, yeah.
which can be a new segment on our breakfast show. Yeti News.
Could be.
The Yeti News. We look at. I'm getting to the DNA analysis of it from Brian
That's what
Sykes.
I'm waiting to get into the real crux of it. Is the
The DNA evidence.
DNA.
It was from. Did you ever? It was on Channel 4, I think. It was called like the Bigfoot Files, and they did each week they did a different version of that. And one week was the Yeti. And basically, this guy from Oxford Uni, Brian Sykes, was basically people would send him what they believed was Yeti or Bigfoot fur, and he'd DNA test it. A lot of it turned out to be elk, brown bear, things like that. But he got something for the Yeti, which we'll discuss in a bit. Which he posed a theory of what it could be. I've typed in Yeti into news, and it's this kind of like Yeti festival in America.
What's the Yeti Festival?
I think it's an American music festival.
I quite like the sound of that.
It looks pretty cool. It's in the Northwoods, a celebration of winter, Yeti Fest.
Winter Festival, no, that doesn't do it for me.
Yeti holding stock up 15% after earnings, so Yeti's clearly making some money.
Good. It's a good name.
Yeti, the iPhone of coolers.
No.
So yeah. Yeti kidnappings. Yeti kidnapping.
Nothing.
3 Mexican film students were killed and their bodies dissolved, and that's nothing to do with
Don't.
Yetis.
Oh, come on.
Washington, what are you doing this for, Washington Post? Austin-based Yeti takes another crack at the IPO. Yeah, it's just...
It's going to be Yeti coolers, that's all it's going to be.
Yeah. Yeti confront mythical humans in animated Smallfoot. Yeah. No.
I think when we're looking for sources on, I don't think Google News is the.
And as we know for this show, we do literally no prep work. This probably should have been something we did. We should have done some prep work for this.
Improv is is an important.
Maybe
skill
for
to
the
have.
next show, even though it won't be on Yetis, I will discuss. If I find anything, I'll have a quick look.
So you can have a little throwback.
Yeah, and be like
Yeah.
discussing yesterday's. Like, related searches, the Yeti, Logan Paul.
Oh,
Is Logan Paul the Yeti?
Logan's
Right.
rubbish.
But anyway,
Um,
let's get to this
Some music.
DNA evidence
Oh.
that you're loving.
Happy Pancake Day, by the way.
Oh yeah, it is Pancake Day, isn't it?
Yeah.
The phrase you're looking for is Shrove Tuesday.
Is it?
Whoa, it is.
It
It is Shrove Tuesday.
I'm too modern and hip to say Shrove Tuesday.
Pancake Day.
That's all it is to me. What is a Shrove? Mr. Know-it-all, what's a Shrove?
Go on,
Oh,
tell us
get your phone
what the
out.
Shroves are.
Straight in there with
Google
Shrove.
What Shrove, what Shrove and Shrove Tuesday means. Meanwhile, you guys are going to discuss what the DNA evidence.
No, I forgot about some funny Nazi story about the Yeti.
Oh, don't.
Yes, please.
You asked me not to mention the rest.
Yeah, we
He's
just- I was-
mentioned it. He's mentioned it.
All right. Anyway,
He's only
enough
on
about
that.
this shambles.
All right, just tread carefully, all right?
Yeah.
Tuesday morning.
During this, on the same topic of this DNA stuff, because it's on that same documentary, they were saying there was a guy who I think he was he used to be in the Nazis, and after World War II he fled, or maybe no, I think it was during World War II he was there, but he was posted in Nepal, and basically,
Why?
I can't remember why.
Already, I doubt it. Like, why would he be in Nepal?
Well, there's reasons why he was there, but it was like there was a division of troops there. Well, he's got a building. Like you can go visit it. There's an actual monument. I'll get it up. Nazis in Nepal.
I need to know why. Like, I don't
Alright.
think there was a front in.
No, they were, because if you go back to the first of the Indiana Jones films, the Nazis track him down to Nepal.
So they were there for Indiana Jones.
They were, if
yeah.
we're basing off this much fact, the Nazis tracked him down. That's where they first find the medallion.
Here we go. Wikipedia again, one of our favourite sources. 1938 to 1939, German.
Exhibition
To
Oh,
Tibet.
so this is pre-war then.
It's pre-war, but it's still kind of like the Nazi. This guy went on to be in the Nazi party. For scientific purposes, led by German zoologists and SS officer Ernest Schnaffer. This is the guy. Results of research. But yeah, anyway, this guy, after doing something I can't remember, I think he was given either given the right to hunt a Yeti, or he was given a taxidermised Yeti. Either way, there's a taxidermised Yeti in this guy's house, which you can go visit.
Okay.
I remember the documentary showing it, and it's this weird-looking creature. Like it's an actual thing, but it looks like a whitish bear that's been like, yeah, it's just really crazy. I'll try and get a picture of it. It was really weird.
Could it be like an inbred bear or something?
Well, that's what the DNA. We go into the DNA thing. Finally, what Jacob's clearly been waiting for because he's been keeping quite quiet.
Wait, what?
But the DNA evidence, basically, Brian Sykes and his team. Well, Brian Sykes was in Oxford. These guys got the DNA. They tried to get DNA from this sample that the Nazi had in his house.
Ernest Schnaffer.
Ernest Schnaffer. It might have been Ernest Schnaffer, but him.
Okay.
But that he had in his house, but because of the embalming chemicals, the DNA was broken down too
Yeah,
much.
it does do that, doesn't
But they found another bit from, I think, a local farmer caught it on some fence or something, which he sent to Brian, and they tested it. And initially, most of the results from these, a lot of the things they got sent were yak fur, snow leopards, brown bears, other bears. But this one couldn't be identified to any known animal currently, as it stood. So I did a bit more analysis on it, and it came back to be a DNA from a bear from the Pleistocene era. Like, this basically relative of a polar bear had somehow got in. So what he believed, obviously because this thing's been extinct for thousands of years, he didn't think it was this thing specifically, but a descendant of it which had mated with a brown bear to create a hybrid.
Oh.
And that's what the Yeti is, a hybrid between this polar bear and a brown bear. But that sounds pretty cool and quite a convincing theory. But as time has gone on, people have been looked at this DNA more and more, and it seems to be more and more brown bear DNA has been creeping up in these analyses.
So it's just a brown bear.
People say a lot of it is just a misidentified brown bear, or possibly a new species of brown bear.
People not doing their job properly, misidentifying brown bears.
And this is from Oxford University. You
This
expect
is
a lot
why
better from this.
we need more rigorous species identification skills.
Yeah. I agree.
And I think one day you'll be there, Dan.
Maybe, who knows?
Follow your master's dreams.
Yeah.
Identifying species all over the place.
I will be. I'll find
And
the
your
Yeti.
survey skills. Oh.
I think what all this leads me to think is, as like when I pitch these ideas to you, I do get a lot of a weird look of this guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think idiot. I think because I don't know how much you believe it. I just think you're more willing to give people the benefit of the doubt. I think, which isn't a fault.
Yeah. Well, I think kind of looking at these things because to find these creatures and find the truth about these sort of things, I feel because there seems to be a bit of taboo about this in the scientific community when it comes to these creatures. I think to get to the answer of it, there shouldn't be really a big taboo about it. It should be more, okay, let's have a look at it instead of just like laughing it off, and be more like, okay, let's take it seriously and have a look and give it a good pun because it could be something in it.
I think a lot of the time they're animals that like they could exist. They're not. It's like a dragon or something.
Yeah, like a dragon,
a big winged, fire breathing.
Yeah.
Monster.
No. Where it's just
I think things which it kind of makes sense. It's just my problem is when people say, "Oh, I've seen it," and it's like there's just never any proof. I just can't take people's word for it.
Yeah, no, that's
unless
fair.
I met one of these people, look them in the eye.
Because that's the thing. So I think a lot of these people aren't lying. Because it could be a case of misidentification, especially some of this stuff.
That's like how I feel about ghosts.
Yeah.
I think people think they've seen it, like they genuinely think they have.
Yeah.
But it's just like a misinterpretation of something else.
I'd go with that because we've seen like ghosts. We've gone off tangent here, like we do in this show a lot. But ghosts, I find hard to believe due to their supernatural properties. Whereas something like a Bigfoot, it is just a big ape, which in an area relatively remote, we might just not have spotted it yet. And also, especially if it falls into this like category of urban legend, no one goes out really looking for it apart from like nutters, really. And no offense to anyone who is a Bigfoot hunter.
No, we respect the show.
Go for it, mate.
Everyone's just fine.
I mean, that's your future, though.
Yeah, could be. Just going out. I wouldn't mind going to have a look for them. I don't think I'd be one of these people who go out and live in a hut for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
On anything. I'd like if I was in like the area, I'm like, let's go have a trip.
Have a little peek.
Have a little look.
I wouldn't mind having a peek.
Yeah.
Wouldn't go there.
You seem like you've got some there, Jesse. Ready to,
Poise.
spring it on us.
What I'm ready to spring on you is the origin of Shrove Tuesday. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Finally,
I hadn't.
way off track, but back to the original thing. So it dates back to once again Christianity and the idea of repentance. And the Shrove comes from the English word shrive, which means to obtain absolution for one's sins by way of confession and doing penance, which is where we come into the whole idea of giving stuff up for Lent, as well as the fasting of Christ in the wilderness. So there you go. It's Shrove Tuesday for a reason.
I am so grateful for that.
While we're just watching that, we found some. We
that.
were looking at listening to that. We looked at some footage from the documentary that I was on about earlier, and at the time I remember being like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." But looking back, it could be anything. But Jesse was saying he's got something that also lends to this sort of myth. What you got there for us?
It goes into more Tibetan sort of mythology. They have, in deeper Tibetan mythology, there's something called the tulpa, which is a thought form, which is the idea of it's like a ethereal presence that can take the form of anything and generally wreaks havoc in an area to effectively keep a balance of nature or keep a balance in a system. It was covered in an X-Files episode. This is where most of my cryptozoology and sort of extraterrestrial knowledge comes from. The X-Files, it's a good source. But this one is covered in an X-Files episode, and it basically goes around a sort of suburban sort of living area, making sure all the houses look the same by destroying or killing people that sort of put tacky windmills on their front lawns. It seems like a random concept, but it's based off of the Tulpa myth, which is actual sort of Tibetan mysticism and exists. So there is grounds for sort of things like this in Tibetan sort of culture. That's what I'm saying. So if they believe in something that goes around sort of causing chaos, there's a very real chance that they could also believe in the idea of the Bigfoot.
Oh, now I can't really lay into it as much if it's a cultural thing.
Yeah. You don't want to be labelled as a racist, Max.
No, I'd hate that.
No, exactly.
But, well, I mean, yeah, I guess they probably know more than me about...
What's up there, yeah. We've never been.
I know, I would love to go, actually.
I'd very like to go. I wouldn't go Yeti hunting. It's too dangerous a territory anyway for me.
No, it's
sticking
not.
Forward to a crevasse.
It's an extreme environment, and us with our blood and stuff, and our hemoglobins and our
Oh yeah,
What's this?
we'd die day one.
We wouldn't cope with the altitude.
No. I mean, it's certainly interesting, and
Or the snow.
I'd like to see if we find out what these things are at some point. Maybe. Is a Yeti? Maybe there's such a thing? Or maybe it's just an misidentification of a bear. Or it could be a new species of bear, which people just identify as a Yeti and be like, no, it's nonsense. Or maybe it's nothing. Who knows? Jacob, where do you stand on it?
I think, I don't know, it could be a bear, but I just don't think, I don't know. I don't believe in the Yeti thing, but I believe it could be, a misidentification of a bear.
That's fair.
Miss ID.
Classic Miss ID.
Absolute classic case of Miss ID.
So, Max, where would you say the Yeti rates so far in the monsters we've discovered, well, not discovered, talked about on the show?
I'm seeing a lot of parallels with the Kraken in the sense that it's kind of probably one of those things which is like a potentially a different a close relative of a species that does exist that is a bit unusual, like a bear.
Yeah.
Or in the case of the Kraken, like the giant squid, it's that because of people's like willingness to believe in like bizarre stuff, it's been warped into the Yeti.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm not going to say there's nothing there, like I did with the dinosaur in the Congo or the
Chupacabra. What about the Mongolian deathworm?
That was another case. Yeah, I think it's just a big cool worm.
Yeah,
someone's allergic to, and it got this.
Oh, is this deadly?
I think it's allergic to it, mate.
Very nice. So yeah, Jesse.
No. I was going to say that's my kind of capping of that.
Yeah.
I wonder. So you're obviously.
I'm kind of thinking with you on this, like similar to the Kraken. There's something to it, whether that be a bear or a close related species. But I'd like to believe that there is. Cause I think there could be. There's a lot of sort of great apes around that in the Asian region. You've got like orangutans, obviously going towards Borneo and stuff, and you had the extinct creature Gigantopithecus, which was a giant ape. Maybe a subspecies of that. Oh, who knows? I'd be intrigued.
Again, I'll wait more evidence.
Yeah,
Jesse, what do you think?
I think because it's one of those things that is grounded in enough realism to potentially exist, similar to sort of the concept of Bigfoot. It's similar to a lot of existing species that you could say, oh, it could just be a weird hybrid. It could be something that someone sort of once saw. It's similar enough to potentially existed at one point, although could equally be extrapolation of someone's altitude-related hallucinations or someone's once desire to sort of stir up a bit of interest for tourism purposes. Because if you're a true skeptic, you're just going to say, well, they're just going to keep saying that because they know it brings in the money. But I mean, the Tibetans have a good history of sort of interesting zoological creatures and sort of mythical creatures. So I'd say that it could be an extrapolation of an existing or once spotted species. So,
extrapolation, good word.
Yeah.
Love that one.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good explanation to it. Jacob, I think your explanation is lacking. It seems like you haven't really been paying attention.
But that's the difference between doing a science degree and an arts degree.
Yeah.
We know we have to kind of back this into
exactly.
subjective,
objective.
Exactly.
It's got that tattooed on yourselves. We tell you apart. Subjective, objective.
Yeah. There's a big difference. I've got to dash off now.
Oh, that's a shame.
So, I'm sorry to leave you.
Yeah.
Have fun in the last few minutes.
Well, before you go, Max, we'll
discuss
what our show is next week. Just specifically for you.
Yes.
I know your favourite. Ghosts.
I think I'm ill next week.
Max, we'll do it live from your bedroom then. We'll bring the equipment. We'll Skype you.
There's no escape for me from
no, modern technology's made you unescapable to ghosts or ghost talk.
That is a crying shame.
Yeah.
I'm going to shuffle out.
All right.
You
are going to hear a lot of scuffling now in the studio as
I'm like a mouse.
He's gone.
I'm in the chair.
Oh, no. He's camouflaged. Oh no, Jacob's in the chair. Jacob's now got the mic to himself. What are you going to say, Jacob?
I don't know. Well, yeah, ghosts next week. That sounds. Yeah, I'm quite interested in that topic.
Yeah. You're more interested.
I'm in two minds about it. I'm on the fence.
Ooh.
Yeah.
One where Jacob's on the fence, so as opposed to just being outright against it from the start in this one.
Yeah, so it could be interesting.
Yeah. He's something like a biological animal doesn't convince him, but the supernatural. Yeah, where's she gone?
The concept of an ethereal spirit is more real to Jacob than
Yeah.
the idea of a big monkey.
Then
that
a
walks
big
around the
monkey.
mountains.
That's just crazy.
Monkeys don't get that big, but like Patrick Swayze coming back and doing pottery, now that is real.
Yes.
We could set up a pottery wheel. Let Jacob play the music and just see how many ghosts go for Jacob. We dress him up like Demi Moore.
Do some live sculpting.
Yeah.
Make a nice ashtray. I think we're just about wrapping up now. aren't we?
Yeah, just wrap it up. Just see how this goes. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Talking about
How-
ghosts.
Ghosts. Jacob, you said you're a bit more keen on this one, haven't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's exciting. I won't say like I'm a strong believer, but I like to hear stories about it. And
Oh.
yeah,
Look forward to hearing that yesterday. Not yesterday. Tuesday. Next week. Yeah. Have a good one. Have a
Yeah,
lovely day.
right.
It's a lovely day. Go out, have a drink, do a bit of
Or
work.
do work.
Take a rest. Yeah.
nobody's going to go and have a drink.
Not alcoholic.
Do some work. Do some dissertation work. That's the message we want to bring
Yeah.
across.
So, yeah. Have a good day, everyone.
Do some work.
See you in a bit.
Then go for a bit.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.